Hello, my friends. I so look forward to our gatherings and our connecting. And if I ever needed any reassurance that love can travel across space and time, these groups have given me that conviction because I'd like you to take a moment and just assess either your stress level right now or your um, energy level, just to give you a little baseline. Because what I notice is that, excuse me, at the end of our 15 minutes, I feel more, I'd say, fluffier. One, I feel more spacious inside. I feel more flow, and I also feel more connected. So, especially if you've been experiencing a lack of connection or, any level of funk inside, I'd like you to just notice how is that right now? Just jot it down in some way, and then go ahead and let yourself participate with what we're doing today, and then check afterwards and just see how am I doing now. So I wanted to let everybody know, in case you haven't been here for a while, is that really the purpose of our gathering is to give and receive attention and to expand our capacity to give and receive more love every day. And part of our intention over this last, 3 years now, almost 3 years, that is to move from fear to love through presence. And what I've really landed on so clearly is that presence is an ongoing experience of love. And that no matter what is going on for me or what I see going on around me, if I can give my presence to that, it expands in love and lets go of all of the fear division. So you might also just take a little note of your level of fear today. So my sense is that there's a background level of fear all the time now. And so when I wake up, I kind of make my way through it. It's kind of like making my way through the egg every morning. Is I kind of, how is the film of fear today? And then I move into presence, and then I'm able to engage. So regardless of what is going on in the world or in your life, you can come home to the practice of presence and giving and receiving attention as really a way to locate yourself, to connect, to expand into new choices. So as we're continuing to explore today, I'd like you to give some attention, curious attention, to your own body. Now, mostly people give attention to their body with the whole attitude of what's wrong now. And so I'd like you to just go ahead and start with that, because that's where most people start, is like, oh God, what's wrong now? So notice when you give attention to your body that way, what lights up. So for me, right at the base of the back of my skull lights up a little bit, not oppressively, but it kind of goes, a little gritchy. So notice what's gritchy or what's meh in you. And and let yourself give some attention to that. In fact, let's just go ahead and give some love scoops to what's wrong. And this will give you a chance to actually check out that love is all around. In that dorky song, In Love Actually, love is all around. Well, love is all around. So let yourself actually try that out by drawing in and then giving it to that gritchy place in you. And when I do that, I feel my body settle. I felt a big open breath come. I felt my body go into spontaneous fear melters, did a little wiggling and a little oozing. So, giving yourself curious, appreciative attention starts a cascade of presencing. And so now let's switch to getting curious, like genuinely getting curious about yourself today, as if you were meeting somebody that you really like when you were out on a walk. And you have that, how are you today? How are you? And then notice when you have curious attention, what lights up in your body. That, hmm, hmm. Interesting for me. This is sort of a new one for me. What lit up was the area right under my collarbones. It kind of went, a little kind of, and that, it's giving me the top of my in breath. So I'm just going to enjoy that, spread out into that. And again, on the bottom of the out breath, I can feel more of a settling. So just notice if giving yourself curious attention allows you to have more of a felt sense of, oh, here I am. Here I am. I can be with me. Now, you may still be feeling gritchy. There's a lot of gritchiness to go around right now. So it's a little bit too like swimming through to find your well-being through all of the debris, the gritty debris. So now let yourself give curious attention to the space that is within your visual circle. And see if you can let your vision go as far out into the distance as possible. I can kind of see the edge of a mountain. Well, it's actually, a small mountain through a little opening. So I see blue and mountain out there. And I'd like you to let your curious attention go out as far as possible and land on that place with a and then let yourself bring back whatever you've noticed to you. So for mine, I'm bringing back that openness and that solidness that I experience, and I'm going to locate it in me now. As we were writing and finishing up Conscious Loving Ever After, our last relationship book, I created a graphic that I would like to show you now. I'd like to have Michelle bring that up to show you, and I want to describe it to you as you're seeing it. So what we've been doing generates a connection that I did my best to capture through this graphic, which I really, really like. So if you imagine, there's sort of a heart shape behind the hearts too. If you're, there's kind of little embedded fun things back there. So if you think of that background is the love pool that's always available. And that each of us, if we're connecting with another, if we let our hearts connect, that what it begins to do is to create an infinity sign of connection. And it begins to feed that space where love circulates and can be supporting you, can be infusing you, can be leading you into new decisions. So as you're looking at that, I'd like you to let yourself connect first with your own heart. And sometimes I like to do that too with the love scoop in a hand to my heart. Taking a breath into that. And then I'd like you to think of someone. It can be somebody that you have contacted recently, somebody you haven't contacted in a long time. It could be somebody who's here on the planet or someone who's no longer here. But I'd like you to let your loving attention move out to them. And I'd like you to let it circle their heart and then come back to circling your heart so that you let yourself, in your own most easy rhythm, give love to you and then give love to this other person, and then giving love to you. And I find the research also supports this, that if you use gestures, so love scoops, wiggles, any of the love, the fear melters, that deepens your experience. And I'd like you to let yourself, when you come back to you, let yourself come back to another place. Like, I'm going to let myself come to my belly because I've been experiencing, waves of fear, in the last period of time. And so I want to just give a little extra attention to my fear center. And I'd like you to let yourself wonder about a community or a situation or a theme that's going on right now out in the world that you would like to give love to. And I'd like you to use that as your heart out there and encircle that with your love. And you might even want to do it a couple of times, a couple of circles, and then coming back to you. So part of what we're up to here is generating, like in those, when you go to water parks and they have those rides that you can just get on and it takes you around the river, you have your little inner tube. So imagine if you had your little heart inner tube and it's traveling around this infinity sign and you're just riding on it and you're getting a chance to love everything that you see and come back to loving you. So I'd like you to see, would you be willing to let that infinity sign, that river of love, keep circulating in you? And if you find that it's becoming more of a trickle than a river, giving more attention to it so that that can be circulating in you all the time, regardless of what you're doing. So I'd like you to let yourself just go ahead and embed that image inside you so that you can come back to it anytime. And I like I put those little arrows in it. It's kind of like, like on tires, they have tread. This is love tread. These are love arrows to kind of keep the love going. And so I'd like you to let yourself choose one thing that can keep the river of love going for you, whether that's your breath or shifting your attention or doing a love scoop or just interrupting your posture. So choose one of those things and let yourself try that on. And let's come on back to the big group so that we can see each other and I can see you all. Wonderful. So for just a minute or so, you can use your hands also, as I can love out here and I can love in here. And that can get going so easily and effortlessly that it becomes that infinity wheel. And if you lose it, which you're likely to lose it because there's a lot of stuff around to help us lose it right now. What's the one move that you can do? For me, it is, and interrupting whatever I'm doing at the moment. Because whatever I'm doing is having me stuck. And so if I just interrupt that really easily, here I am again. So we can find it and lose it and find it and lose it. And I love the whole idea too of love scoops. to remind us that love is all around us and that we can rest in it and share it as we choose. So thank you so much for playing today. And it's your presence that co-creates what we're doing. So I invite you to let yourself continue to be a catalyst for the giving and receiving of love. And I look forward to sharing more with you during the week and again next week in person here on Zoom. Mwah! Take care.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.